Good morning, children. I hope you all are keeping well. Children, today we are going to start with a new chapter, chapter 12, electricity. Children, what is electricity? In your junior classes, you have done about the electrolysis of water. There you have learned that the positively charged particles, that is hydrogen, moves towards the cathode, and negatively charged particles, that is oxygen, moves towards the anode. And in class 9th also you have learned about that the metals are positively charged and non-metals are negatively charged. How they gain the charge? By loss of electrons, metals becomes positively charged particles and non-metals by gaining the electrons become negatively charged particles. So let us start the chapter from this basic knowledge. What is charge? Charge is a fundamental particle in an atom and it may be positive or negative. As I had discussed just now, that metals by losing the electrons become positively charged particles and non-metals by gaining the electrons becomes negatively charged particles. We also have learned in junior classes like charges repel each other. For example, if you rub two balloons on your hair and you bring them close to each other, they will move far away because they have gained same charge. But suppose you have rubbed one balloon with silk cloth and the other balloon with your hair, they will come closer to each other because one has gained negatively charged particles from silk cloth and one have gained positively charged particles from the hair. So they are oppositely charged, they will attract each other, and in the earlier case the charge gained by them was same, thus they were repelling each other. Charge can be measured with the SI unit, that is coulomb. To give respect to the name of the scientist who has discovered about the charge, we have given name the SI unit in respect to his name, that is coulomb. 1 coulomb of charge is equals to charge present on approximately 6.6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Charge on one electron is always equal to the negative charge, that is charge on one electron, negative charge of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Now how can we calculate that in a conductor how much charge is being carried by it? The formula used for it is capital Q is equal to small n into E. Q is equal to N into E, where Q is the charge, total charge carried by that conductor, N number of electrons constituting that conducting wire or conducting material, and small e is the charge on one electron. Now we will move to the next concept, that is what is current. The rate of flow of charge in a circuit in per unit area per cross section is called current. Rate of flow of charge per unit area per cross section is called current. Current is represented by charge upon time. Symbolically, it is I is equal to Q upon T. This is also known as mathematical representation. So please learn these terms in exam so that you should not get confused. Mathematical representation or symbolical representation. What is the SI unit of current? That is ampere. Again, to give respect to the scientist Andre Marie Ampere, scientist who has explained us about the current. Smaller units, there are many units, smaller units also of the current are there, but let us understand what is 1 ampere. As we said, the formula is I is equal to Q upon T. So if current is 1 ampere, that means 1 ampere will be equal to 1 coulomb upon 1 second, or simply we can say 1 coulomb per second. Smaller units of current are 1 milliampere, that is 10 to the power minus 3 ampere, and 1 microampere. This symbol is for micro, Greek letter, and this Greek letter micro means 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. So these are the smaller units. Now question arises, how can we measure this current through a circuit? Current in the circuit is measured by a device called ammeter, and the symbol used for ammeter is a circular round circle with A symbol and positive and negative terminal. When we connect this ammeter in a circuit, we need to keep it in mind that the positive terminal of the ammeter should be connected to the positive terminal of the source or battery, and the negative terminal of the battery or the source should be connected to the negative terminal of ammeter. Otherwise, ammeter may get blow, or permanently at a single point the needle will be permanently placed. It will not work more. Okay. Ammeter is a device which should have a wire inside to measure the current. Obviously, it has to measure the current, so there should be some wire. The wire used in this ammeter should have low resistance. Ideally, it should have zero resistance, but zero resistance is almost not possible, so it should have low resistance, and always it is connected in series. Question arises, why low resistance? Because the low resistance it would have, then there would be no current drop across it, and thus it would be easier to measure the accurate current flowing through a circuit. Otherwise, there may be errors due to the ammeter. Direction of the current is taken opposite to the flow of electrons, and thus it is known as the electrons are flowing through the circuit. But when it is interesting to know that near about for 150 years we were not knowing about the current electrons, that flow of electricity is due to flow of electrons. If you remember that Benjamin Franklin have discovered about the electricity in 1767, and up till 1901 J.J. Thomson when discovered about the electrons, then we came to know that actually the charge is flowing due to the electrons. But conventionally it is believed till date that there is no difference if we say that flow of electricity is due to the flow of positively charged particles, or vice versa, if we say that it is due to the flow of electrons, then also it will be correct. So conventionally today also, till date, today also we always say that electricity is the flow of positively charged particles. I hope I am able to make you clear. So thank you so much.